All right, everybody, let's go ahead and talk about mapping strategy passage 4. Now, strategy passage 4, probably most people, once you looked at that one, would get the same conclusion. Is this going to be a now or later passage? Now, if you look at it, that's some 1, 2, 3 pretty dense looking paragraphs. You've got one figure, which looks like some kind of weirdness with molecules, but then figure 2 and table 1 do not look like very friendly tables to interpret. So my initial impression would probably be this is a later passage. Now, is this something you could absolutely see on the MCAT? 100%. Definitely something that, could be in a great example passage. Because what we see here, again, first thing you want to do, if this is an hour later, you kind of get an overall feel for the passage, and then you want to read your first paragraph. Okay? We see the first paragraph is talking about lung alveoli. So this is definitely looks like some kind of chemistry thing going on, but in reference and couched in physiology. So we see right here, first paragraph, lung alveoli. So I'll go ahead and highlight that. Lung alveoli, all right, because that's what our passage is going to be about, the epithelial here. And then we see also go on, I would also highlight type 1 and type 2. So that's in our paragraph 1 there. And you see they go on to describe those, and they give us some ratios and whatnot. So I would put on my scratch paper the cell type details, right? Cell type details there in paragraph 1 are being covered. Now, we go on, of course, they tell us a little bit more about those cells. We see that we get to paragraph number 2 here. And in paragraph number 2, they start talking about surface tension. So definitely wanted to go ahead and pay attention to that, highlight that. Surface tension is what's going to be the main subject of paragraph 2. And we go on to see that they give us some numbers about actual surface tension. So I wouldn't bother highlighting that. If you jot down your scratch paper real quick. Numbers for surface tension. Just to make sure we know where we need to go for those numbers, but I wouldn't bother highlighting them. Then we go on. We see that they talk about what exactly surface tension is, right? They give us the amount of energy required to increase the surface area, defined as a surface tension. So I would highlight that. All right, amount of energy, ... So all the way until we get to the surface tension. All right, surface tension. So just kind of note on that. Again, don't worry about the numbers yet. Then we see we got figure 1. All right, attractive forces of water molecules gray and effective surfactant molecules in white. So figure 1, just simply, of course you can't highlight it, but it's an illustration of what's going on with that surface tension. Then we get paragraph 3, and in paragraph 3, what you see that they're talking about is the actual different experiments, efficiency of different surfactants. So I would highlight research of different surfactants. Highlight that. And of course, then we actually give you these chemical names and formulas, all right? So in here, of course, is the names of artificial surfactants, and also we see that it's discussing the experiment. All right, the experiment that they're doing. Now, figure 2. This is a kind of a scary figure because they're kind of being a little bit tricky here. So this is something I would kind of note on my scratch paper. So here we're looking at figure 2, and of course you can't highlight, but on my scratch paper, I would go ahead and note the dots used for the figure 1. Because the dots kind of vary, so you got to kind of pay attention to what the SDS is represented by and all that good stuff. And then table 1 actually gives you some more numbers of those. So dots used for figure 1 and table 1, that's going to give you the actual numbers for the artificial surfactant. All right, the numbers for those are actually given there. So that's kind of a quick little summary of what we see for our highlighting and what we're trying to jot on our scratch paper for strategy passage 4. Any questions out there, anybody? All right, very good.